Joining us tonight is a doctor specializing in psychiatry and cybernetics. Spoiler alert, he's a smart guy. Please welcome Ivan Guerrero.
I'm truly flattered, Mr. Q. Greetings to all in Night City.
Am I right in saying you're a cyberpsychosis therapist?
That's correct.
So how are things in the Mac stack?
Good one, Mr. Q. I actually work in the Oak Ridge Hospital.
Well, you sure are a funny guy, Ivan. Let's go back to basics, shall we? Just what is cyberpsychosis?
It's a spectrum of psychological disorders caused by cybernetic implantation.
But look, I've got 7 implants myself, and I haven't completely lost my mind, though my ex-wife would probably disagree.
Everyone has their own breaking point. Some patients get symptoms after their first implant. Others remain in perfect psychological health even after what we call a full-body conversion.
Fascinating. So tell us, Doc, what causes cyberpsychosis?
Well, it depends on a lot of things, but the most vulnerable are undoubtedly those who display antisocial tendencies.
What if implants aren't the real problem? I mean, sooner or later, wouldn't those kinds of people snap by themselves?
Interesting question, Mr. Q. In all fairness, there are prominent voices in the scientific community who claim we're confusing correlation with cause and effect. Some go even further and say that cyberpsychotic attacks are a manifestation of societal degradation, like mass shootings once were. Only difference now is that people don't just have a gun. They've got implants to murder others.
And what's your personal opinion, Ivan?
I'd start by saying that there's an indisputable connection between cybernetification and psychological disorders. We've seen this with rats. When we replace 1/3 of their body with cybernetic equivalents, they become 5 times more likely to display psychotic tendencies than the control.
Sheesh! Well, I just hope I don't meet any of those cyber rats on the subway.
But, and I can't stress this enough, disorders are a product of one's cultural surroundings. They don't necessarily lead to violence.
Well, now wait a sec. You're saying that cyberpsychos are violent because...
Because our society is obsessed with violence. You could even say we glorify it.
Fascinating. Now, Ivan, let's say I've got a few implants and I'm worried I'm starting to feel some symptoms. What should I do?
Well, the good news is that a treatment exists, and so far it's effective. We call it brain dance neuro reintegration. Over a few dozen sessions, we subject a patient's cortical nodes to intense stimuli, recovering positive attributes like obedience, docility, sociability.
Just say it, Doc. You're giving them shock
I beg your pardon? That's not what I said. You're putting words in my...
Is that so? Well, our next guest, Joyce Wright, wants to give you a piece of her mind, about this so-called therapy. We're about to get mental, folks, right after this short break.